Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Think Your Way to an Epic Life. And today's guest, Lisa Swanson, is a very specialized coach for women who are 50 and above. What she does is very unique and it's very specific to each individual lady. And so this is not a blanket, everyone who's gone through menopause needs to do these things. This is, we're going to look at your body, we're going to analyze what's happening, we're going to look at your thoughts, analyze what's happening, we're going to look at your nutrition and analyze what's happening and put it all together in a form that you can really enjoy. So if you know of someone who is of that age group and is struggling, please pass this on to them. This lady can truly help. Thanks for listening. So, Lisa Swanson, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, I am really excited to be here today.
Well, it is fun, and I'm excited for our listeners to get an opportunity to hear from a coach that's that specific, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, on this one, you're really going to need to share this. It may not impact you, but it impacts someone that you know. And so, tell us a little bit about I talked about it in the intro, but tell us a little bit about how you got to this point. What made your passion be to help women that are postmenopausal?
Okay, so this is interesting to me. I hope it's interesting to your audience as well. I have been in this industry for 30, I've been saying 35 years for a while, so it's longer than 35 years. Let's call it 37, 38 years. Been in this industry through all sorts of changes, like we all go through changes, and had really worked up my way into owning 3 studios. I had 26 employees. I was, the 90s was all about hustle, 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 right? And it was almost like a badge of honor that you wore on your sleeve, like, I work 80 hours a week. I sleep 2 hours a night. Look at me, how cool am I? So I went through all of that. And it was as I was turning 50 and I was watching my trainers, great trainers, but I'm watching them work with other women in 50 and I'm going, why did you give that woman that exercise? Like, her pelvic floor is weak. She can't be jumping up and down like that. Don't be doing that. Or why did you give this person that? And they can't handle this type of nutrition. And it's like, trying to teach other trainers this and they weren't getting it. And even my clients were saying things like, I love your trainers. They're awesome, but I feel like I'm with my son or my daughter. And I just started thinking about, these women really need somebody who knows them, who understands them, who has been through this. And as I started thinking about this, and I tend to take time on my birthdays to reflect. I'll try to keep this short, but I like to just take time to reflect. It was on my 50th birthday, literally that day, that I was thinking about what I was doing with my time. And I realized it was all work. It was very unbalanced, right? It was like this, instead of that work-life balance, it was work, 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 work. Where's the rest of my life? And I was missing out on some things. And then somebody said, well, listen to your intuition. I thought, what intuition? I didn't even have any. I was so disconnected to my intuition, to my inner self, to my higher self. And I'm just like, there's something really missing here. I need to take some time to think about this. And I made a conscious effort to take more time to get back into meditation. For me, that's my thing. Meditation, walking meditations, jogging meditations, movement, and really started to connect again and I started thinking, what do I want to do with my life? And I was like, do I stay where I am? Do I move over to a program for women? And as soon as I said, do I stay where I am? I felt the heaviness. Do I move towards helping women like my age? It felt so light. I'm like, that's the answer. And I systematically sold off my studios and started creating what is now body and soul coaching that is just strictly for women in menopause.
Body and soul coaching strictly for women on menopause. And there's so much in there. I've got to back up just a little bit. Meditation is something we talk about very frequently. And I'm willing to bet that there are people that heard you say walking meditation, jogging meditation, that didn't know that that was even possible. Can you go into that a little bit?
Sure. I think a lot of people believe that meditation, sit down quietly, no thoughts in your head, and focus on your breath. Nothing wrong with that. The first time I tried to do that, I lasted about 2 minutes. I wasn't very good at I wasn't very good at sitting still. So I said, well, I'm going to walk. And as I walked, things were coming into my body and my mind a lot more. Remember, there's a mind-body connection. So I think any type of repetitive motion can get you into that space where your mind becomes silent, but not completely silent. We're human. We have thoughts. It's like, let the thoughts come, let the thoughts go. Just let them pass through so that you can clear it a little bit and get some stillness. And through that stillness, you start hearing answers, wherever you believe they're coming from, whether you believe it's God, your higher self. I like to think of my spirit guides, my angels, and my higher self, where I'm getting these answers, but I need stillness, I need quiet, and I need movement. It's almost like my body has to move to keep part of my brain going so it can clear out the other part of my brain and it can actually hear what's coming in. Does that make sense?
It does, and I'm going to go a little deeper with it
Sure.
because I'm positive that there are other people that are so resonating with your story, and they're like, I tried it, and I'm thinking about going to get the groceries and the dog,
Yeah.
husband, this and then that, and it didn't work for me. And so, guys, if you've run into that and it didn't work for you, try a walking meditation, try a jogging if you jog. So let's just do the walking meditation. What does it look like exactly? If you were to teach me right now, this is how you do a walking meditation, what would you tell me?
Oh, what a great question. And again, even just like seated meditation, I think it's a little different for everybody, but I would start walking. I might, if I needed some assistance, I might have AirPods on that are playing just more, meditative music, just like instrumental that would help. Like you can look up on anywhere and say, play some focus music or something like that. You would have that in your ears, or take those, take the earphones out and just listen to the birds or whatever. And I would just walk. And a lot of times it is, well, see, one time it could just be, I'm going to recognize what's around me to keep me in the present moment. What a beautiful tree that is. Look at the way those leaves are blowing in the wind. I saw a bird fly by. Wow, there's a car going by. Look at that gentleman over there playing with his little girl on the tricycle. Heard a dog barking. So I'm just saying things that keep me present all the time instead of letting it wander off into the past or the present or the future, rather. Right. So I'll do that. Another way I do it, I actually think of every single step I'm taking. I was thinking, okay, as every single step I take, I am getting more grounded. My feet are solidly on the ground. My legs are strong and carrying me towards my destination. My back is strong. I'm standing with good posture. I'm breathing. Inhale and exhale. I'm just going through all these things, just anything to keep me present.
Thank you. That is such a great tutorial. And ladies and gentlemen, it works. It is really amazing. When I really got into meditation, my executive coach got annoyed with me on more than one occasion because I'm like, I just can't sit and do nothing. He's like, you're not doing nothing. And that's when he introduced me to walking meditations.
Yeah.
And now I can do both. It takes time, guys. It's anything that you do repetitively, you get better at. So
Yes.
it takes time and you've got to give yourself that time. Another thing about meditation that I want to throw in here is that if you do 4 meditations, 20-minute meditations a week, that is equivalent to being on high blood pressure medication that takes your blood pressure down. It is
Isn't
so,
that amazing?
it's powerful, powerful, powerful stuff.
Very. I've never heard that. That is amazing. That's amazing.
It really is. And so many things that people are on 4, 5, 7 different prescriptions for, especially in the age group that you work with.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that could be changed with
Right.
things you are offering. So tell me a little bit more about, you sold off your spas and now
Mm-hmm.
you are doing just for women, and the person you can help is the person you used to be. So you
Absolutely.
understand it, you've been there, you've done it, you understand it, and that's why you're able to help other ladies. So
Yeah.
so kind of walk us through the beginnings of it. Like what is it you help them with mostly?
Well, so the very first thing I learned in helping women or getting into this business was personal training. And, so I've been doing personal training for quite some time. I'm orthopedic exercise specialist, I would call myself a master personal trainer. I'm very good at what I do. But I learned very quickly that that doesn't do it all. It's building muscle, but it's not getting the weight off, but it is changing your body. So I know how to design a program that will get somebody stronger, that will keep you injury free, that will keep you balanced, that will keep your core balanced, even focusing on the pelvic floor issues that women have. So we're working all that. But then the next thing I got into, we're going back in my history, these are the tools that I bring into it, is it just like, I've got to learn the nutrition part of this. So I got multiple certifications in nutrition because I knew that we needed to have aligned nutrition. So aligned nutrition to me means it's not a diet, it's aligned to your metabolism and your lifestyle, so that they're working together so you can actually get results. But before all of that can happen, you got to think of your thoughts come into play. And that's why I say I work on empowering thoughts. Because if somebody comes into, especially in this age group, you come into this with, I have failed X number of times at diets. I can't lose any weight. I'm struggling. No matter what I do, I don't lose weight. And they come in with these thoughts, and that's the prevailing thought, right? That's their health identity. I'm overweight, nothing works for me. I'm going to have to accept it because society's telling you this is what 50 looks like. Your doctor's telling you this is what 50 looks like. I went to a doctor 50 and they said, here, menopause, let's just accept it. And it was like, I was saying to the doctor, do you know what I do? I was like, that's no, you don't ever say some of that to somebody. So we really work on helping people change those thoughts, change their identity. It's like, okay, who is the woman you want to be? Who is the woman you are now that you think you are? What's the gap? Where's the gap, and how are we going to start making the shift over to something that's believable to you? So we really work a lot with that type of coaching, so that people, when you can change those thoughts into, maybe it's not, hey, I'm a vigorous, healthy, lean, strong woman. The thought to jump to there could be difficult leap to make, but instead it could be, it's possible. With the right guidance and structure, I can become that lean, strong, powerful woman that I want to be. And now your brain believes that thought, and that helps you to take that step forward. Oh, I could. So let me take care of this nutrition, this exercise. And then, oh, wow, I did that. I followed through with what I say I'm going to do. So now you start trusting yourself. So it all kind of snowballs into making it happen. But it starts up here.
That's it, guys. That is it. It does start here. It is the name of this podcast is Think Your Way to an Epic Life. And are you saying that if you just change your thoughts, everything will work out?
No, there's got to be action behind that. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'm going to sit here and think myself fit. It doesn't happen. The thought happens, but then you have to have action behind your thoughts. Then that's when you have it. Follow through and consistency has to be consistent.
It absolutely does. And guys, if you think that you can, or you think that you can't, you're correct.
Exactly.
That's the thing. And we are our own worst enemy. We really, truly are. We have the left side of our brain that is trying to protect us and keep us homeostasis, keep us
right.
This is what I know. Even, children who are beaten or spouses that are beaten will go back to their person because that's what they know. And that's horrendous. You're not thinking, you need a coach to help you understand what it is that you're thinking.
Exactly.
So you help women with exercise, meditation, and what was the last thing?
Aligned nutrition. Aligned.
Yeah. Okay. So when you talk to 10 different nutritionists, you get 10 totally different opinions. How do you come up with your plan for this specific coaching client?
Honestly, it's incredibly individualized. Even though I run a group coaching program, it is individualized. Before somebody even starts on the program, we have what's called onboarding week. Now, during onboarding week, we're gathering information. We're getting their weight, we're getting measurements, we're getting photos, we're doing little fitness tests, we're finding out their goals, we're doing all these things. We even have them sign a sacred energetic contract for every client that comes in. And that energetic contract is saying, well, we will be here for you. This is when we're available. This is what we're going to do for you. We will help hold you accountable. But guess what? Accountability is not forced upon you. It is agreed. It's an agreed upon, what's the word I'm looking for? Agreed upon contract between two people, for lack of a better word. So they have to sign that to make sure they're going to show up for themselves, because we can't do anything if somebody doesn't show up. And then we have them record their food. Don't change anything. We say, don't change anything at all. You're going to record your food. We have a whole questionnaire that they fill out saying how they felt. You know, did you get mood swings? Were you tired? Did you sleep well? Did you have cravings? So we're looking at that and saying, okay, based on how Jane ate last week and how many calories she had in her macronutrients, and she felt this way, we're going to have to change your calories. We usually don't change by too much in the calories, because I like to keep people on the edge of dieting, not dieting where dieting is like drop those calories down and creates all this stress in the body. We want to keep it closer so your metabolism is, for lack of a better term, is relaxed and it can let go of body fat. We're really working on changing the macronutrients in a way that's going to work better with their body and align with the body. And then every client has a dedicated coach that's following them every single week to do a check-in. It's like, okay, we changed up those macros. Number one, did you follow what we said? Because if you didn't follow it, we can't change anything until we see consistency. If you did, now how do you feel? Well, I lost weight, but I'm really hungry. All right, then something has to change, because nobody should be starving. A little bit of hunger, okay, we're doing something our body doesn't want to do, but I will adjust that so they're not getting hungry. Or, yeah, I lost some weight, but I'm tired in the afternoon, I'm not sleeping well. Then something has to change, hormones are off. Or, I didn't lose any weight. All right, let's take a look at it again. And so we're doing that all throughout the program. Every single week we're checking in, and we usually nail it pretty good right in the beginning. We only have to make small tweaks. And I think that's one thing that your listeners should definitely know. Small tweaks. You don't ever want to make big changes in the way you're eating, because it's going to feel like a diet immediately, and you're not going to know exactly what that tipping point is for how many carbs, fats, and proteins that you need if you're making these big leaps all the time.
So how different can three women be as far as how much protein they need or how many carbs they need or whatever? How absolutely unique is this?
There are some basics that that you could say to everybody. Like for women, you should have at least 35% protein a day. You know, in your diet, if you're going to build muscle, we need more protein now than we ever did before in our lives. We don't have the enzymes that break our proteins down into. We don't have as many enzymes that break our proteins down into amino acids, so we need even more protein than we did before, and it's harder for us to build that muscle. So you can have things like that in general. But say I have two women who are coming in at the same weight. One woman was, let's say she's eating 2,000 calories a day. She weighs 150 pounds. She has a very high stress job, no time to work out, go, 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 go. Another woman comes in. She's 150 pounds. She's retired. She eats 1,000 calories a day, trying to lose weight, and she's doing a bunch of different exercises. She's doing all her cardio, maybe a little bit of fitness classes. So for both of them, for either one of those, if I just said, I want to put you on 1,500 calories a day, the one who was eating 2,000 is going to say, I'm really hungry. That's not enough food for me. The one who's eating 1,000 calories I put on 1,500 is going to say, I am so full, I can't possibly eat all this. And her weight's going to go up, because right now her metabolism is probably in metabolic adaptation. And if you give her too much food at once, she's going to start gaining weight. So you have to bring it up slowly. And the woman who was eating too much and was steadily gaining weight, you have to bring that down slowly, because you drop it too low and the metabolism is going to say, what are you doing to me? You're scaring me here.
Yeah. That is, and it is imperative that your clients trust you.
Yes.
So let's talk about one of your stories. You don't have to give a name, but let's talk about one of your favorite stories of a woman who came to you desperate and now her life is really where she wants it to be.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Let me think of one. I'll think of one client. We'll call her Jane, for lack of a better name, because I didn't ask anybody's permission before coming on here. And she came into the program, petite woman, but very overweight. Now, I'm 5'2", so I think she was 5'2" as well. If anybody out there, if you're 5'2", you know you put on 5 pounds, you see it. A lot more than you see it on somebody who's 5'9", 5'7", right? So she was very unhappy with how she looked. She felt very unfit. She was tired. And she just wanted to be strong and lean and really wanted to focus on herself finally. So for her, we adjusted her macronutrients and she started to lose some weight. Inches weren't changing as much. And as we're going through this, and she was doing her workouts, and as we started digging into it, I realized she wasn't lifting heavy enough. She wasn't lifting enough to elicit change in her muscles. Because, guys, anybody listening, if you want to change your muscles, lift heavy enough to elicit change in that muscle. When we're lifting weights, we're actually breaking the muscle down. You're putting little tears in your microfiber tears in the muscle so that they will rebuild while you rest. And then she started lifting heavier and she liked it. She liked not only how it made her feel and how strong she was, aches and pains were going away, and the inches just started falling off. Because remember, we have her nutrition is aligned, right? It's aligned in a way that's going to give her enough protein so she builds that muscle. We had the right balance of her carbs and fats for her. And then she started taking the weight off and it was just coming off and the inches were coming off. She was getting more muscular. I said, this is incredible. Now, this woman came into the program eating about 1,000 calories a day, right? So that was it. Then as she said, well, I really don't want to lose any more weight. I'm here. So it's like, okay, let's start adding some calories back in, whether it was by a macronutrient or overall, let's just up everything. We slowly started adding things in. So when you do this, your metabolism actually speeds up even a little bit more, going, wow, she's giving me even more food. So more weight came off, add more food, add more food. She left the program 27 pounds lighter. And I can't remember how many inches, but around the same amount of inches gone. And that's a lot on a 5'2" woman, right? And for her calories that she was eating, 1,900 calories a day. So she almost doubled her calories and dropped that much weight. And she looked so fit. She was lean, no belly fat, flat belly. So if somebody's out there saying, oh, menopause belly, can't get around it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And what's crazy to me is I'm postmenopausal and I didn't even know that there was something called menopausal. I wasn't even aware. How much of that menopausal belly do you think is because people are programmed that there is one?
I don't think it's because they're programmed there is one. I really believe that it is part of menopause because I've seen women who are quite active. What they don't understand is it's the cortisol and the estrogen or lack of estrogen that's causing this. So when you don't have the estrogen that we had growing up, the estrogen was protecting us from the effects of cortisol. Now we don't have that protection. So as cortisol rises and you're doing all these workouts, which increases cortisol, right? That's the stress hormone that tells your body to store fat and to store it, and visceral fat to store it in belly fat. So that's why a lot of times when we're coming in, I'm saying we're dropping the stress levels down. There's not just meditation, we're saying walk. Forget the cardio right now. Don't stress your body out. Just go for a nice, relaxing walk every day. So we look at steps and things like that. Go watch a movie, have some fun with a friend, sit down and relax, do some yoga, do some stretching. We're just getting that stress down. And that right there can help get rid of the belly fat. And this is definitely real. It's a real problem that people deal with.
Absolutely. And you have created the solution and it's not a blanket solution, which I love. I mean, I love the fact that it is so individualized. And I'm sure that the ladies listening who are just kind of thinking, maybe I might give her a call, maybe I might, are thinking, man, if you could do this for me, you're going to be my very best friend. I'm going to love you. I'm going to buy you a house. So if someone is interested, and they can give you a call. They can, how do you do? Do you do a discovery call?
Yes, I run free discovery calls and usually run about 45 minutes long. So I really want to get to know somebody and make sure that they're a good fit. And I want them to make sure they're a good fit before they sign up with me. This is important. I want, and anyone signing up with me, I want you feeling confident coming into the program. So we take the time to really dig into, well, what's going on with you now? What are you dealing with that's making you want to reach out for help? And then we take a look at, what do you want to achieve? Not just, I want to lose X amount of pounds. What does it look like to you? What does that feel like to you? What lifestyle are you trying to create? And then let's start uncovering some of the blocks that are stopping you from getting to that goal that you're trying to reach. And then we can start diving into, okay, this is what coaching will look like for you.
Sounds very holistic, not just,
It
we're not,
is.
we're going to help you lose 20 pounds and that's what we do. No, we're going to help you completely align everything and have a powerful life, instead of like society kind of does say, just relax, just don't worry about it, it's just normal, it's just natural, and you can have so much more of a life, so much more. So the lady that you told the story about that left, what is she doing with her life? Do you know, have you followed up with her?
In the beginning, now this is an interesting phenomenon because in the beginning, she had people coming up to you saying, "You've lost a lot of weight. You're getting too thin." Negative comments from other women because they wanted her how she was before. So we really had to work on her thinking about, it's like, no, you wanted to do this for you. You look very healthy. You have a lot of muscle on your body. You're just not the same body that you were before. It's for you. I think she really learned how to, like, she let that come into her head. So she had to learn okay, how do I block that noise? Because that noise that those other people are making has nothing to do with her and everything to do with them. And I think she needed to learn how to just say, go ahead and think what you want, but I'm enjoying this healthy lifestyle.
Mel Robbins' book comes to mind when you said that. Let them.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Let them. That's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's still listening to us at this point, people, be careful who you share your goals with. And it's not like you cannot share that, your body used to look like this and now it looks like that. And it's a very obvious thing. And you will have people. Have you ever heard of how they catch crabs?
No.
Oh, Lisa, you're going to love this. You're going to love this because it's so exactly what you're saying. They take a cage, they put crab food at the bottom of the cage. There's no lid. They lower it to the bottom of the sea. The crab smells the food. They crawl in, they start eating. Num, 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 num. They're great. Well, then the food's gone. And one of the crabs says, oh, okay, there's no more food. See you guys. I'm leaving. And this starts to leave. The other crabs will pull it back down. They will pull it back down so severely that they will literally break its limbs to keep it from leaving, where there's no food
Really?
to die. Yes, and humans do that too. And why do they do that? They do that because they're scared, because they're losing you, because you are growing, you are changing, and I like you the way you were because I'm comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
it. Goes back to that homeostasis. So what do you say?
Right.
Do you talk to your people about the fact that this will likely come up and how to handle it?
Oh, we have so many different conversations. So we have group coaching calls every week with my clients, right? Where we can all get together. And a lot of times I'm giving a coaching lesson on what is your health identity and things like that. And then it's open Q&A and we just, wherever the conversation goes, that's what we're going to go to. And we do talk about, like, what do you do? Like, you go out and there's people trying to sabotage what you're trying to do. It's like, oh, come on, you can have dessert. It's like, that's not really on my plans. And I always tell them, just ignore them and just promise them to say, I promise you if I want it, I'll eat it. And it shuts them right up, right? What can somebody say to that? If I want it, I'll eat it. No argument, done. So it's really just sort of letting them, you have to let them just go live their journey and you stay on yours and just say, I'm perfectly comfortable in what I'm doing.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. I love the let them, and I love your program. Is there anything, Lisa, that I should have asked you that I didn't?
We covered quite a bit. I can't think of anything. I think, well, maybe the only thing would be like if somebody is hesitant to get started with a coach, because it can be scary because there's a lot of programs out there that don't work. I always say, diets don't work, but then again, they all work. but for a short period of time. So don't fall victim again to the diet industry that's going to put you on a cookie cutter program. And here's a meal plan, here's a diet, follow this, you'll be great. Because your body changes constantly. Your metabolism is not static, it's a moving target. You only want to be in a program like mine that is going to individualize it towards you and teach you not just this is how you lose weight, this is how you maintain it, this is how you do body recomposition, this is how you build muscle, this is how you reduce your stress, this is how you change your thoughts, because all of that plays an enormous role in what you're trying to accomplish. Just take that holistic approach. And once you get into it, you got to trust the process. I had so many people say, I don't know, this is a lot of food, but I'm going to trust the process. And they do great with it. And all my successful clients, I see that's probably one of the most common statements I hear was, why are you successful? I trusted the process.
And it's so hard to trust the process, especially if you're doing it alone. However, this is proven. This has been proven and proven and proven over and over that it works. Trust your coach. Make sure, that's the whole point of the discovery call. Make sure that it works for you. And then just go with it, because your thinking has gotten you to where you are right now. You're inviting someone else's thinking in to help you get to where you truly want to go. Beautiful. Okay, so what is on your mental diet? Books, podcasts, whatever.
Oh my goodness. What is on my mental diet? I actually did just pick up Lethem. I haven't started that yet. I do want to read that. And The New Menopause. The New Menopause by Dr. I don't want to get her name wrong. I don't want to get him. You have to look up the name of who it's
Don't say it. We'll look it up. We'll put it in the show notes for you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. But what was it called again?
The New Menopause.
New Menopause. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll check it out and we'll put a link to it. And then the last question that I ask everyone, because you are on Think Your Way to an Epic Life, what tips, tricks, ideas do you have for our folks to help them think their way to their own epic life?
Oh, the very first thing that came to my mind when you said that was stillness. Because if you want to think your way to your life, you need to be able to hear what your higher self is saying. And you're not going to hear it unless you give yourself some stillness, because this world is very noisy, especially right now. It's incredibly noisy. There's a lot of chaos going around, and it's very hard to think. You need to be able to block that out, protect your own energy, and just sit in stillness so that you can hear what your higher self is trying to tell you to do, and trust what it's telling you.
I love that. And guys, what she means by sit in stillness is meditate. And if you haven't, literally do 2 minutes. Don't beat yourself up. Be proud of it. And that would be, as a coach, I'm a different kind of coach, but as a coach, I would tell you that if you have never, ever, ever meditated before, take 2 minutes a day. Don't do any more than that for at least 2 weeks. Don't do it any more. You're going to want to do more, but don't allow yourself. That way I'll tell a Tony Robbins story that he told on one of his. He was 23, I believe, and he got hired by a general to come help his soldiers do sharpshooting. And Tony had never touched a gun before. However, he had a buddy who was going to fly in from somewhere else who was a sharpshooter, and they were going to teach this together. Well, Tony's about to get on his plane. His buddy says, I'm sorry, this happened and I can't come. And so here he is, he's going to this military base to teach soldiers how to be a sharpshooter. He's never, ever done it before. And the training took like 2 weeks for them to get really good. So what Tony did is he came in and he's like, he gets them ready. And the target is like way, way, way down there. He runs down there, gets the target. He brings it all the way up. So you can't possibly miss. Boom, 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 boom. You can't miss. You can't miss. Then he moves it 5 feet back. He moves it 5. He took that 2 weeks. He took it down to 2 days that these guys were experts. And so that's what I'm saying about meditation. Just 2 minutes a day, just a little bit, and then increase it. And you will get to the point where you actually love that and that you love your time. Great advice, Lisa. So guys.
Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, totally. So guys, if you know of someone who's struggling with any of these things, please pass this podcast on to them. If you would like to talk to Lisa, click on the link for the discovery call for her. If you're a little scared to, and you kind of want to, but you just want to ask one little question, then do it on YouTube. I know you're probably listening to this on Spotify or somewhere else. However, YouTube, you can actually leave comments, and Lisa and or I could answer those for you. So communicate with us, and we will communicate with you. Lisa, thank you so much for your time and giving our folks so much of your wisdom.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for having me here. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yay, that's what I like. Thanks, guys. See ya.